hear it the whole ride home. Mark won't slow down. Empty as fuck highway, so he just speeds. I swear I see this thing following the car, by the tree line at the side of the highway. Facing the car, kind of sliding across the floor, like if a video game character's walking animations broke, and stopped working. Every time I see it, high-pitched sound increases in volume until I look away and vision goes white after 2 seconds of staring. Eventually stop seeing it 3 miles from home. Never go back. Ever. Stop talking to James after that, lost contact with him. Mark doesn't talk much, when he does he stutters. Lucas is pretty chill. I'm still scared as fuck about this, it was about 2 years ago. I don't go outside much anymore to so whole thing fuck us, mentally, but yeah, believe me or not, this happened, and my mental state ain't as stable as it used to be as a result. Fucking typing this is almost giving me a panic attack. That's all guys, hope you enjoyed my traumatic encounter. Camping guy here. Just got off the call with James, he finally talked about it and his story about the ride home was hell of a lot different to mine. Anyone interested? James' story is as follows. At the camp, around the time my hearing cut out, and after I ducked my head back into my tent. An hour passes. They see the thing I saw off in the woods. Sliding at Mach 9 towards a fox. Grabs the fox and rips its chest open, eats the thing there and then, bones and all. They go quiet. It spots them and slides off into the woods. He's fucking shaking at this point. They spot it again, 2 minutes later, staring and twitching like fuck. Like its throat was full of a thick liquid, like tar. It slides off again after letting out a loud screech that I didn't hear for some reason. He rips my tent open, grabs me. He carried me to the car, I was out cold. He's scared as shit. Trying to sprint but be quiet as fuck. Mark and Lucas way ahead. He looks back and this thing is at our camp, inside my fucking tent. Gets to the car. Throws me in and gets in beside me. I wake up after we get to the highway, scream and pass out again. Repeat for an hour. Wake up, look at him, make a gurgling sound like that thing made and passed out again. This scared him enough to not want to talk to me for a long ass time. He thought it possessed me. Anyway, we get home, Mark drops him at his house and he stays there, getting family and friends to buy food for him and he pays them the money. Refused to leave his house. He was in therapy for a while. I call him a long ass time after this. Here we are. I'll try to contact Mark and Lucas, see if they'll talk too.
What did the creature look like? Have you named it?
Named it? No, I'll try to think of one now. But it had our 4 faces, kind of melted together into one head and it wore a dark red plaid shirt, slightly torn and black trousers. Mark wore the trousers, I wore the shirt.
Maybe it would be a good idea to not name it, you never know who is listening.
I kind of like melt face, or quad face. Let me start off by saying, I hate role-playing threads in /x/ and you can choose to believe this or not. Story is set over a period of 20 years. Me live in small rural area in Oklahoma between Tulsa and Bartlesville. County has been experiencing weird sighting of black triangles and cloaked people walking down rural roads. Cows disappearing and blood and organs being found in fields. Live on ranch with livestock. B14. Chilling at house at night during the summer playing Super Nintendo. This was early 96 so N64 was not released yet. Game room was sunroom that overlooked land and in the distance if it was clear you could see the Tulsa skyline that was about 30 miles away. Get up to go get the RC Cola. Walk into sunroom and see what looks like people by our pool on the bottom of the hill. Mind you, our house was built on a hill to overlook our land. Oh shit, my little brothers got out again and are trying to swim at night. Leave sunroom and proceed to go out to the back deck. Start walking downstairs to pool at the bottom of the hill. Notice these figures are small and skinnier than my brothers. See baseball bat on staircase landing halfway down. Grab it. Feel my adrenaline pulsing. Walking toward pool which feels like forever. Try to say something to the figures. Barely let out a word. They hear me. They turn around and stare at me. They have large eyes and gray skin. Start to hear static in my head. Feels odd. Start counting them, there are 4. Try to raise bat. My arms feel like they are jelly. Hearing what seems like distant whispers in my head. We are not here to hurt you unless you mess with us. Starting to feel like I am congested. Start slowly walking to 60 feet to the pool. Bat as raised might be able to get a good swing in on them. Try to swing miss the creature. Start feeling weak. Sit down and accept my fate. Hear footsteps on the concrete around the pool and hear the gate move. Look around, they are walking away. See the light from the TV in the sunroom. See one of my younger brother in his pajamas lit up by the light from the TV. Sit there for a few minutes as I regain my strength. Slowly walk up back to the house. Feel warmth on my face. My nose is bleeding. Walk to bathroom when I get to the house. Washing my face off and contemplating on waking my dad and stepmother up. My younger brother walks up behind me and says, "You saw them too? They have been coming around here for the last few months, that's why I draw the blinds when it's evening now. A few months back I was reading Hank the Cow Dog and I looked up and one of them was staring at me from my window and I felt a loud buzzing in my head, then it just disappeared. I look at him and the dots of his odd behavior are adding up in my head." My brother continues to say they mostly walk around outside the windows and try to peek into the windows. They know we are here but they are trying not to mess with us. Does Dad and we will call her Sue, stepmom, know about this? No, I don't want to tell them, they might think I am crazy. Well, let's keep this to ourselves. I go back to the sunroom and turn off the TV and run back to my room freaked out. Lay in my bed all night until the sun rises, unable to sleep, listening for movement outside. When my father wakes me up, I tell him, "Dad, I want a rifle." His eyes light up. "What for?" "I just want to plink and walk the land with it." "Of course, son. Go to the tractor supply store and get a cheap SKS from a barrel and some ammo." Now I am prepared for these guys. Weeks go by and nothing shows up. Be a few weeks later, playing my new game Quake on DOS. Computer room is in the front of the house. The room is a computer informal dining area with a window with the benches built right underneath it. Sun is going down in the Oklahoma sky. Anxiety starts setting in, draw blinds. Play about an hour or so and start feeling an odd feeling on my back. My back is to the window. Stop playing for a second. Start listening to the sounds, hear the Doe theme playing and then I hear what sounds like movement in the bushes outside the window. Gather some bravery. Peek behind the curtains. See 2 large all-black eyes staring at me. Panic mode enabled. Run from the window while yelling. He comes into the room with a loaded 1911. "What is it, son?" "There is something outside." He walks out the front door and I hear, "Holy fucking shit." He runs back in and locks all the doors and draws the blinds all over the house. Everyone get to my office. We do, and my dad walks in a few minutes later with a few sleeping bags and a few rifles and some food. I hear him try to call his co-workers. My father is a deputy, and tries to call my stepmom who is out of town for a conference. No service. Dad comes in and rounds up all of 5 of us. I have 4 brothers. Tell us that what is out there looks like a gray and begins to explain to us what that is. Tell us all to stay in this room all night. Dad randomly patrols the house. Brothers fall asleep. I find it but end up passing out around 1:30. Wake up because I think I hear knocking on the window. Look around and see all my family is asleep. Even my dad is asleep with a chair in front of the locked door. Hearing rain, assuming it's the rain on the windows. Knock, knock, knock. It's coming from the window. Look out and see nothing. Hear cans fall from the direction of the garage. Dad is alert, locked and loaded. My brothers wake up crying. I forgot to fucking lock the garage. My dad screams out. Dad hands me SKS and tell me that he will lead. We slowly walk the length of the house to the garage. Hear movement in the garage. Sounds like cans are being thrown about. Dad reaches for the door handle and quietly unlocks the door. Here we go. JPEG. Open the door, right as lightning flashes. Door swings open. Garage is lit up, the door is open. Dad turns on the lights. The wind blew the door open and we're scattering kids around the garage. Leo.mp3. Go close the door, look outside and see something run past the door about 100 feet away as another bolt of lightning flashes. Close the door and tell my dad. Start hearing soft buzzing. Start hearing slamming on the garage door. Then I hear my brothers screaming from across the house. Dad and I run toward them as we lock both garage doors. Run to the office, something is slamming on window. Tell everyone to get out and we all run toward the master bath with a walk-in closet with all our stuff. Banging goes on for another hour in various places throughout the outside of the house, doors, windows and walls, until all we hear is the rain and distant thunder. About 5 a.m. my dad and I start turning on all the lights in the house and all that we can outside. Patrol the house and wait until the sun rises. Sun rises. We peek outside and nothing is there. It's a dreary morning. We walk the perimeter of the house and see little footprints, and my dad has a Polaroid camera. Take pictures and prepare to cook breakfast. My brothers wake up scared. We reassure them and tell them it's okay. Dad tell them not to tell Mom and that we will make sure the house is safe. Fear consumes the house for the next few weeks. Nothing happens. School begins and all is well. Fast forward 2 years to when I was 16 and edgy. Be 16. Working on the property and feeding the cows. Multiple cows are out in the pasture. About 10 a.m. in the morning. I walk towards the cows with my SKS slung on my back and notice they are standing by a creek bed moving like they are lamenting something. Walk toward creek bed where the cows are standing. Smells like hospital and rotting flesh. See 3 cows mutilated and a calf fetus still with the umbilical cord attached floating in the creek. Run back to the John Deere gator and call my dad on the walkie-talkie and tell him to call the sheriff and to come here. Flash forward an hour, deputies taking pictures and coroner looking confused. Hear a Crown Vic roll up and a few guys in slacks and button-up shirts walk up and identify themselves as Oklahoma Bureau of Investigation. Start their investigation and they call the college vet to come pick up the bodies for investigation. They drive off with the cattle bodies and we go on our way, and that night I have to stay up and patrol the property on an ATV and make sure nothing goes wrong, while my dad stays at home by the phone in case I call for help on the walkie. Be around 10 p.m., driving my ATV down a dirt road, hear a car rolling down the road. It's an all-black Crown Vic. As they drive by I notice 2 men in all black in the front. They stare at me as I wave at them as I pass. Go about a mile down the dirt road and hear a buzz just like the one I heard 2 years before. The hairs on my neck stand up and I see something slowly move across the sky and hover over a house down the road and then move on, then it shoots